Hello, this is our August real-time update, which it is currently the 28th of August. It's been a couple of months since we last did one of these, but times have moved on. So anybody that caught the last one, we were, I think, in Reading, finishing the completion of the house. That's now gone. We no longer have a house at all. And we are now in Scotland.
You probably could tell from the whiskey collection.
So we're just doing some planning for where we're going next. As people that have watched the channel for a while or watched the updates know, we raced kind of along the south coast and up the Irish coast to get to the TT race in the Isle of Man. That was the last video that we published last Saturday. The one coming this Saturday will be the Strangford Lough episode, where we see the drumlins and the all in Strangford Lough with the heavy tides. That in real time 2 months ago.
Yeah, probably. Yeah,
maybe
June.
A bit longer.
Beginning of June.
Beginning of June. So really quite a while ago now. So since then we have come to Scotland. We've been exploring, as Jude said. We have visited multiple distilleries. There's no association here. We've just been to the Lechaig distillery, the Laphroaig distillery, Ardbeg. We haven't been to Ardnamurchan. I just bought that today because it looked nice in a window. Bowmore over there, the Tobermory is the same as the Lechaig distillery, to be fair. And we did go to the Lagavulin one. For some reason, they don't sell small bottles. So get your act together, Diageo. We don't want to buy big bottles for the boat. They're hard to store. And you don't get as many of them. So anyway. Yeah, we're in Scotland. We are currently reading through these pilot books. We've got the Outer Hebrides there, we've got Kintyre to Ardnamurchan, we've got Ardnamurchan to Cape Wrath. We've also got the Welcome Anchorages Guide for Scotland. Jude has made a lot more use of this than I have as a planning tool.
It's really useful. We didn't get one when we first arrived in Scotland, and no one actually told us about it. And then I think once we got to, was it the Isle of Bute?
Yeah, Bute.
Bute. The woman was like, well, I was on the phone being like, oh, we're coming in, and she's like, oh yeah, have you got the Welcome Anchorages book? We're on this page and you can see our plan. And I'm like, okay. And I was like, it was too quick of a conversation. And then when we got there, I was like, what were you talking about? And she gave us one of these and was surprised that no one else had, given we'd already been in Scotland for a while. And actually it includes Northern Ireland. And surprising that they didn't give it to us either. But it's a book for anyone who is coming this way of all the different anchorages and marinas around different parts of Scotland, and they each of the either anchorages or marinas actually give a description and tell you a bit about them, and then they've got a picture of either plans or where the anchorages are, and then you can see what facilities are there, so it's really useful.
And interestingly, so we came through the Crinan Canal to get north of the Mull of Kintyre. This is the only source that we found that's actually got the full map on one page of the Crinan Canal. Everywhere else you get little snippets of it, and it's kind of infuriating. If you've never been there before, you don't know what you're looking for, you don't know what the little snippets align with or where you can stop. And in our experience, a lot of people were just rushing through the Crinan anyway. We took the full 4 days of the cruising pass, stopped in different locations, and really made the most of it. And it's a beautiful place to stop. There's some lovely walks from there. So yeah, it was quite interesting how hard it was to get a full picture of the whole of the Crinan. But in here, as we left, Jude was looking through here to look at the next location, and she said, oh, I found a map of the whole thing that we've been looking for the whole time. So,
and well, because we're not actually sure, because on the website it says that you get a free copy of the the Crinan document, which when you look at it
Like the
online,
skipper's
it's all
guide.
the skipper's guide. When you look at it online, it's all different pages, and they never gave us one. And then because we weren't rushed through, you will see what happened. We were like, we just couldn't go back and ask for one, and we'd gone too far forward, and we were just like, oh, this is annoying, and we had to keep looking online, and it was hard to find the map, but we could have just looked in this book the entire time.
Yeah, but that's not to say the Crinan was difficult. The
No.
Crinan was actually surprisingly easy. The staff were excellent. There were staff on every single lock. We didn't have to know anything special or do anything special. They walked us through the whole process.
Yeah, and it's slower than you think it's probably going to be.
Yeah, and the main challenge there is other skippers, really. So we came across one boat with a pilot on board, and the pilot's sole purpose was getting them through as quick as possible. And he was very bossy. He caused other boats a bit of an issue in some locks by opening them up too quickly and things like that. And then there were other boats that were just pushing in line. We got up early in the morning, discussed with the other skippers that were awake. We were going to go into the lock. Everybody was ready, the lockkeeper was ready, and then another guy came up on deck and he's like, oh, I'm coming in too, and just made everybody wait for 45 minutes while he messed around with ropes and stuff. So but other than other people, it was actually a really easy process. So yeah, really good time. Currently we're in Tobermory on the Isle of Mull. This is the furthest north either of us has sailed. We don't know anything above here. So below here, I've got friends and I've spoken to people and we've spoken to people who have given us a lot of advice. And shout out to Kes and Fiona that we met in Strangford Lock. They gave us an incredible 2-hour lecture on and discussion on Scotland and Scottish Islands on the west coast. It was a lot to take in though, and there's still a lot that we're not really sure of. From this point north, it looks like there are fewer safe havens, so we're just trying to work out where to go. The weather is also a bit hit and miss right now. We've been really lucky this year with weather, and apart from we stopped at Tarbert for Storm Floris, and we stopped Strangford Lock was a storm I think blowing through that we stopped there for a few days. But other than that, we've had really good weather. At the Isle of Man was terrible weather, but it wasn't stormy. But now, yeah, we've got this system blowing through right now that was a Hurricane Erin or something.
Yeah.
Over on the US side of the Atlantic, and that's now, it always just blows across the Atlantic and we get a storm after they've had a hurricane. And it is hilarious. All the UK news is like, oh, a roof blew off. And the week before that, we get all the footage of houses being destroyed on the other side of the Atlantic. And but we still make a big deal of it because it's our local weather. But yeah, so we're now looking at getting up to the Isle of Lewis, which is the northernmost Outer Hebrides island, going to Stornoway. We're hoping to do that because it's the end of August. We've only got realistically one more month of reasonable weather before the nights draw in. It gets quite dark quite early, so sailing days are shorter. It gets cold and potentially stormy more often. So we've only got a few days dotted here and there. But yeah, if anybody is from Scotland, knows the north coast, the west coast rather, we're not going to the north coast. Leave us a comment down below. We are very interested in your thoughts of where we must go and visit, where we should go and visit, anywhere that's nice, any distilleries that are good from north of here. I would like to visit the Talisker one, is the only one I'm aware of further north. Any safe havens you think are worth knowing about that we can drop into if a storm comes through. We know of Stornoway, we know of Mallaig. But any advice or thoughts on that, greatly welcomed.
Sounds good.
So yeah, that's our update for August. We will try and do another one in September, just to keep you up to date. We will catch up slightly on the videos because we took a month out to go and sort the house and go down to Reading and then Cornwall. Now we are completely free of that, so we're getting more up to real time. We also, as you can probably see, we've got microphones on We are aware of the audio issues when the wind is on. It is just a faff wearing microphones. We've had them the whole time, but it's very easy to have a GoPro in the cockpit and talk to it. It's not very easy to turn on a GoPro, turn on a mic receiver, turn on the mic transmitter, clip everything on, and then talk to the mic. We are getting better at it. We are new YouTubers, so apologies for that. Also, we have started getting the big cameras out more. The one we're on right now is a mirrorless camera with a decent lens on it. We had this camera out the other day with a big lens because we saw a white-tailed eagle going into Spelvey, which you will hear is pronounced incorrectly on the video because we didn't talk to a local until afterwards, and she was like, "Yep, Loch Spelvey," and we're like, "Ah." Yeah, we've recorded that wrong the whole time. So yeah, we got footage of white eagles, we saw otters, we saw hundreds of dolphins that you may have seen on our Instagram last week.
Deers.
We saw deer.
Highland cow.
Heelan coo.
Peacocks.
Peacocks.
Obviously.
Yeah,
Not
we've
really
seen so
sure on
much
that one.
wildlife on Mull and around Mull. It's a real change from further south. Even when we initially got to Scotland and we saw a minke whale, we felt lucky. This blows that all out of the water. There's so much wildlife up here. It feels much more untouched by humans. Even though Tobermory is quite a commercial harbour, there's a lot of fishing and mussel farms, oyster farms. But in terms of nature, it's just all over the place. So yeah. Amazing place to sail. In terms of where we're going in the future, we are currently discussing, we're leaning towards the Mediterranean for next year because we would like to just be warm. We've had some lovely times up here, and we were swimming just in swimsuits the other day at Gia, just down slightly south of here, and which is opposite Isla and Jura. If you've not seen it on the map. But yeah, we were swimming just in swimsuits. It was fine in the sea and it was warm enough to get out and just stand around instead of getting dry immediately. But average, it's been cool enough that we've wanted jumpers and things the whole summer.
Yeah, we're back to in trousers now, but I guess it's just dropped this week because of the storm as well. So it may well get a bit warmer again in a week or so, but it will be shorter days. So.
And we were originally thinking of doing a second season up here. We both love it up here. I would happily do another season. The reason we're leaning away from that right now is to do the next season. We can realistically sail easily until end of September. October gets harder and we can probably move about, but then we've got November, December, January, February, March, 5 months sitting around waiting for the next season, during which time we'd have to be in a marina realistically, and we'd have to find somewhere civilized enough with shops and things to go and do something. You wouldn't stay at anchor over winter in Scotland unless you were really, really dedicated. So yeah, we're thinking maybe head south, possibly winter somewhere like Cornwall or Wales or somewhere like that. A bit warmer than here, but not quite warm. The reason for that is visas. We will have to arrange French visas to get down the French coast. So there's a bit of administration involved there. And then next year, probably cross over, do a bit of the North French coast, go into the Bay of Biscay. We're not going to do a crossing. There are so many harbours in Biscay that everyone just sails straight past. And just like we've done with Britain, we like popping into these little places and saying hello and seeing what the local cuisine is and all of that kind of stuff. But then, yeah, we'd like to get somewhere where we can use the swim platform for swimming, jump off the boat, go snorkeling, go paddleboarding. We've had the paddleboards out twice this year. So that's sort of our plan for next year. We've not sailed the Med before. We've not sailed through Biscay before. We have done the French North Coast a bit before. We've done the Channel Islands before. I might we did have video from 2 years ago when we went to the Channel Islands. So if we run out of footage over the winter, we might end up making a Channel Islands video for you guys of when we went and sailed there. Fantastic cruising ground, highly recommend it. Yeah, anything to add?
No, I think that's everything.
Anything that you'd like to ask people to comment or give us thoughts on?
No.
If you know any recipes, let us know the recipes.
Yeah.
Provisioning, we cook the same stuff. We've had the same weather for the whole summer, so we've been cooking the same recipes and we are bored of them. So any thoughts on food, greatly welcome. And yeah, I think we'll end the update there. It's about 15 minutes, a lot longer than the updates normally are. But hopefully that gives you some insight into what we're up to and where we're going. Hopefully you've been enjoying the channel. Let us know in the comments. We really would like to hear people's thoughts on what we're doing. Hopefully the videos will improve. We're going to start using the bigger lenses and get better footage of coastlines and stuff, and more B-roll, and hopefully a bit less of us just looking at the lens and talking, but we'll see. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this, and the next video will be out on Saturday as usual, so we'll see you then.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.